Africa TV Freak Up Studio Live. 2023 GSL Season 3.
It's been dark way too long in this place. That bright smile long gone been
What
replaced.
is up, everybody? Welcome to the round of 8 here in the GSL Code S. It's going to be potentially a lot of TVZs here tonight.
Yeah, it's fun. I feel like we're going to get a really deep dive into the TVZ matchup today to kick off the round of 8. And, you know, with a new patch or a new map pool, that's about the best you could ask for, is a day where you're really going to be showcasing one matchup. And we have the potential today to have nothing but TVZ. And
we could also get a TVT and a ZVZ in there. We'll see. As you were saying, the matchup has changed a lot. The Cyclones changed a lot. We're still learning what this unit can do and how much of it and whatever it's doing it can pull off. It does function more like a unit that's mixed into the rest of the Terran army, whereas before it was kind of like, I think we referred to it as like a Swiss Army knife unit.
Yeah.
A kind of fix-all for defending your base on two bases, occasionally used in some of these more technical pushes in TVT and other matchups at time. But yeah, I mean, we got some great Terrans, some great Zergs. We're going to get to do a real deep dive into the matchup. And I could not be more excited.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, especially having Kira and GuMiho both playing today, who have kind of different styles of TVZ. GuMiho, just going back years and years, has kind of been known as the mech god. He's been able to make it work even in metas where mech really did not feel like it was viable. GuMiho just always had aces up his sleeve. I just can't wait to see how he decides to use the Cyclone tonight, because now in the round of 8, really the cool builds are going to come out. You want to fire everything you got to try and make it to the finals. But before we get there, of course, GSL, we're doing a lot of crowdfunding nowadays. It's kind of the way that StarCraft 2 and really esports as a whole, RTS esports especially, is trending as we lost publisher support. But, I mean, the support from the community has been absolutely monumental. Already nearly $32,000, and this goes to directly fund the prize pool, support the players, support the Korean StarCraft 2 scene. So from the bottom of our heart, thank you guys so much.
We really appreciate it. Yeah, we already surpassed our goal, so that'll roll over into the next season of GSL. But, yeah, all that money goes to the prize pool minus the cut Patreon takes. So, guys, we appreciate the support. We love you. We're, like, just about halfway through the tournament. We already hit the goal, which is incredible. And we are looking forward to, I don't know, wrapping this one up and getting another GSL started up here down the road. But this tournament's been a weird one, man. Maru eliminated at the very first elimination point of this tournament, so it's kind of a toss-up as far as who's going to take it. Maru, of course, being the most consistent GSL player of all time, always the safest bet as far as who's going to take it. So now it's really up for grabs in Season 3.
And if you guys want to come down to the studio and catch this live, you got the information on your screen. We're at the Africa TV Freak Up Studio. That's also where the finals is going to be held next week, so make sure you're aware of that. And you can buy those tickets online at the link listed below, and make sure you get those early, because, you know, round of 8, and then finally once we go to the finals day next week, we have the round of 4 and the finals on the same day. Yeah. So a very high chance that one gets sold out. Make sure you get those as soon as you can. Of course, if you have difficulty buying them online and we don't have a sold out crowd, it's possible that you can buy the tickets at the door when you come to the studio, but I do recommend that you try to get them online just to be safe.
Get them online, buy it early. Whether you're staying here in Korea or you're flying in to visit, make sure you get that as quick as possible, because once it's sold out, we just can't let, you know, additional people into the building. We're across the street from the fire department. We will get in trouble if we go over the capacity.
Yeah, we literally are.
We got to be careful. You could see the entire makeup of the round of 8 over here. I'm especially excited about Group B, actually, with our two Pronosses, Dark and Bunny. I think Dark probably the favorite to move out of that, but
I would say so.
We hope to get at least one Protoss advancing here to the round of 4. Always nice to get that golden ratio.
Yeah, there's a good chance. I think Creator and Classic are actually playing a PvP to kick off that series, if I'm not mistaken, which means one of them is going to be at least one match away from qualifying for the semifinals here as we look at the playoff bracket. Of course, round of 8, same as the round of 16. It's the same classic 4-player GSL group format, but then we go into the single elimination section of the tournament next week on Thursday. Should be a lot of fun, and really this is a fantastic top 8 field to have. And, you know, in some way it's kind of sad not to have Maru in the picture because he is the GOAT of Korean StarCraft 2, but in another way it really shakes things up. You know, Cure every GSL this year, Maru has been his kryptonite. He's been the one to stop him. He just got picked up by Team Liquid, guys. If you missed the news, Kira, the most recent member to join that team, now representing Team Liquid. Is he going to get a GSL title this year? Maru is out of the picture, and Kira looks stronger than ever.
Yeah, I agree. I think he could totally take it. If there was ever a season, this would be the one. Honestly, he's playing better than ever. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how he's going to play here. Or, you know, if he can actually just crush through and take the thing entirely. Kira has always looked good, but he just seems to be almost unworldly good as of now.
I mean, historically, Kira's been kind of a TVP icon in Korea. No one really has been able to hold a candle to his TVP as a matchup, and I don't want to say he's a one-trick pony because he's always been one of the best players, but until recently, it feels like his TVP overshadowed his TVT and his TVZ. But now coming in to 2023, he feels so much more well-rounded. You could tell the hard work is paying off, and so DRG is not going up against just one of the best players in the world. He's going up against arguably one of the best TVZ players in the world. I watched Cure play a best-of-5 against Cyril just a number of weeks ago, and yes, that was an online cup, but it went all the way into the final map in a best-of-5 scenario against arguably the best ZVT player of, you know, this generation of StarCraft 2, as Cure is just really fleshing himself out. I think Cure probably the favorite to advance from this group, but then again, it is a new patch. It's a new map pool, and DRG is also historically one of the best Zergs in Korea. I feel like we're kind of shining a big spotlight right now on Cure, but really this is going to be kind of an upheaval in terms of a group. Really, anyone can advance from this one, so I'm very excited to get started. Cure versus DRG coming up.
All right, guys, we're ready to get into this match. Cure versus DRG. Best of 3 starts now.
Cure. Club NV DRG.
Okay, immediately we've got 2 SCVs moving out on the map.
Yeah, we're starting this one on Alcyone, and Kier actually mined out the tiny little mineral patch that walls off this bottom section of the map, and he's sending 2 SCVs through it.
3, I believe.
Oh, 3 in fact.
And so, I mean, this is pretty crazy. This is going to be very, very nearby. There's actually an Overlord here, but I don't know that the trajectory is going to cover this. Hey, we appreciate you. Welcome down to the studio. So good to have an audience back here.
Yeah, I don't think the Overlord is going to spot this.
I think it's going to be just out of vision range, but if it is going to get it, it would be just over the very edge of the barracks. Hold on, I think
it's just out of view, Tasteless.
Oh,
come on,
why are we going over that Overlord?
Yeah,
it's like literally the place, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is wild. This is going to blindside DRG. Now, it's 2 racks over 3. The third racks, I think this is such a cool part of this build. It's always made a little bit further away so that if you do scout it, you don't quite get the entire picture.
Yeah, if it is true racks, it's a lot easier for Terran to transition out of it. Of course, it's still effectively, it is very much an all-in strategy that you're going for. It's high pressure, but hiding that third racks means that should that Overlord have scouted it, would not have been able to get the full picture. And now Cure with the extra SCVs that he has pulled to build those barracks, mining out the second mineral patch and the bunker rush, it's already begun. So DRG, now that the hatchery is finished and he has vision, knows exactly what is coming up. And we'll see what his response is immediately. A Roach Warrant and his second gas guys are getting thrown down. I think this is telegraphing that DRG is going to try and give up this hatchery and try to bust down with Ravagers, but we'll see exactly how he decides to hold.
There is a Ravager bust that you can set up where you can try to swing it back across the map. And this is, like you were saying earlier, State, this is a builder that doesn't allow you to recover as easily post-rush. He's kept a decent amount of the Lings alive over here. He's going to try to target that Queen down as best he can, send some of the Marines back into the bunker. And we're at about half HP here. The creep tumors are going to try to be connected and bridge what will soon be a dead second base, along with this this first base, with the Roaches coming up here as well. But I mean, this is a tough one here for DRG, and DRG does not have a lot of time inside of this game to adjust. And we see a tech lab, by the way, being made on the 3rd barracks.
Yeah, I'm guessing Kier's going to start mixing in some Marauders with this, so he has no plans to really start transitioning. I think he's anticipating this roach reaction from DRG because DRG never really put up a fight to hold the natural, and the Ravager's even morphing in here on the low ground, so DRG is going to have a very good engagement.
Well, this is pretty smart. He's not going to expand right away. What he wants to do is actually plow down the push out as DRG tries to escape the base, right? To actually take advantage of the bunker, to get Marauders out here, to use concussive shells so the retreating Ravagers and Roaches can't get away.
Yeah, but
I would have thought we would have had a second bunker if he was going to go this route.
I'm a little concerned for DRG making this play, though, on the low ground, because that's a lot of more barracks units getting rallied out. There isn't a transition coming in from Cure. So DRG might be caught a little bit off guard of Marauders with concussive shell joining the mix, because if Cure can somehow amass enough bio there on the low ground and keep that bunker alive, if he's able to section off these Ravagers, they have nowhere to go outside of that expansion. If he gets the kill on them, that's basically a game-ending move, and you can see him starting to test the waters a little bit. He has to be very careful because there is going to be no healing coming in for this bio.
There is stim starting. Yeah, the Ravagers that you see on the low ground, they really can't actually get up into the high ground without being shot at by the bunker. So we need to see, is there a moment that Kier can identify where he can, DRG can identify where he's going to try to bust this open. We see Link speed's done, so that may prompt him to try to come in here and attack.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Link speed is done. I think if DRG, if he was able to keep that Ravager alive and just continuing files here on this. Oh man, he's rallying this one too.
Oh, this is a mistake.
Yeah, Ravager's already getting picked off. Now the Lings are going to come out, but that is so much bio on the low ground right now. Kier back at home, he's not transitioning. There is no factory, no starport, no command center. It is just what you see on screen. And I think DRG is not prepared for this follow-up. Stim, it's about halfway done. And you got to think that once it completes, okay, that bile does connect with the Marauders and a couple of Marines. But once Stim is done, I don't think Kier's really going to be contested here.
Yeah, well, I mean, the longer this game goes on, the harder it is for Zerg to get out. I mean, you know, the number of hatcheries alone is a problem. And you can kind of drag this game out as a Terran and then eventually quietly take that second command center. Because Zerg, if they don't break this, they're never going to get out on the map.
Yeah, and DRG, the fact that he bled off some Ravagers means that he doesn't have enough files to really outpace the heal here. So he's going to take even more damage pushing forward. Another Ravager almost getting sniped down. Two of them, in fact.
It's going to get repaired. That actually might be it.
Yeah, I think Stim Pack is done even.
Yeah.
What a build by Cure.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of crazy to see a build like this.
Wow.
Just come out this late, you know, in the game. But I like the idea.
That is a cool play.
A lot of Terrans would have made a command center earlier, and then it would have been the Zerg breaking out and the Terran holding back at home. But here, you don't even expand. A one-base Terran technically is better than a one-base Zerg. I mean, this is why we always see Zergs having to expand faster than Terrans, faster than Protosses. Occasionally, they'll go even on bases, but one base is really kind of impossible. You just need enough hatcheries, you know, with enough queens and everything out to where you can get that engine really going. So Kier just holds the low ground. Concussive shells punish the few stray Ravagers that come out. And then Stim. I mean, it looks like we probably almost didn't even need it to close that game out, but I think the Stim really is the ace up the sleeve there. Is if Zerg commits, now it's not worth it at all. And so a very short game here for game one.
Yeah, Kier coming through with some really solid build preparation. I love that opening there on Alcyone, especially considering you don't have many builds, many proxies so far in the GSL that we've seen on that side of the map, and we'll see if Kier has something special cooked up for Site Delta as we're getting ready to go up into game number 2. Kier leading this series with DRG 1-0.
Cure. Club NV DRG.
Going back to that game 1 build, I mean, how often have we seen 3 barracks proxied with no gas on the other side of the map, but the Terran tries to bank a couple of Marines and then go for something like an SCV pull to end the game straight away? And this is just a different flavor of this 3 barracks opening that we saw from Kira there in game number 1, where instead of that, he doesn't pull SCVs. It was just the 2 or 3 SCVs that were there the entire time repairing the bunker.
It's brilliant too because the 3rd barracks is far away enough, right? From China, welcome guys, much love. Good to see people from all over down here.
I see that sign in the back too from San Jose, California. Let's go. That's my hometown, man.
Yeah, it's
Bay Area. Oh, there he
where's
is.
this one from? Okay, we're doing that sign justice now.
Best flavor. I wish I could see which flavor of Hot 6 that actually was, but with the dim lighting that we have here
This
for
is
the
us
studio
doing the
audience.
show on hard mode, man, trying to guess the colors of the cans in the dark. But that 3rd barracks, putting the tech lab on it.
It's so smart.
Even if you see the first 2 barracks, you might think, okay, well, he's going to expand. I only see 2. And then having the Marauders slow drip come out from there.
And Stim, the ace up the sleeve, as you said. It's just so smart.
When it seems like we built up to the climax where Zerg probably has enough Zerglings and probably has enough Roaches and Ravagers, then you can overpower them with the Stim. And Stim is great if it all comes down to one fight. Stim almost always wins if it's pretty even. The thing is like if he had to Stim over time, he would have depleted all the hit points. But, I mean, a really cool strategy coming out here from Cure. One I don't think we're going to see again today. But definitely one that was, pretty difficult for DRG to deal with. By the way, in an era where we don't see that opener as much anymore.
Especially now with the Tech Lab and Marauders.
Yeah, Proxy 2 racks, Proxy 3 racks was, I feel like Maru probably still did it the most.
Yeah, I think you're
Although I think we had a couple games where Bunny would bring it out here or there, but that's a very different version. A lot of the stuff that Cure does now just looks very different. It seems like he's really labbed out a lot of things. I think the new patch has been really good for him. And he seems to just be more on top of the new ideas that can be used in this version of the game.
One of the things that made him so scary in TVP for a long time was just the range he was able to bring to the table. And I feel like over the past couple of months, he's evolved his TBT and his TBZ to kind of get to the same level. And even now, he cancels one of the Reapers that he was producing out of this because he knew that he had just enough damage to get the hatchery down. And look at this sick micro on the high ground.
What is going on?
Okay, DRG's going for a Ling Flood. 20 Lings in production. I don't know if this is going to be a winning play. Behind this, Kira's going for his 3rd command center. So the fact that we don't have gas trickling in for DRG right now, I'm not sure how much he's actually going to be able to get done with this. None of those Reapers got taken out. Kira is very smartly moving back to his side of the map. And if these Lings can't find too much damage...
Well, a lot of times when you're hurting the Zerg early on, you could almost predict that there's going to be some kind of dramatic counterplay.
Yeah.
Right? And so sometimes you kill off a couple drones, or in this case, you kill the drone that was going to be the hatchery and delay the 3rd hatchery. If you just play slightly more conservatively, you'll probably stop what they're going to do and be in good shape. But these Lings were not committed to going all the way across the map. They're just out on the map in high enough number where I think they can surround and kill Reapers if the Reapers stay too active on the map. But DRG, I mean, already having just a very tough time navigating the first couple of minutes of a ZVT here versus Cure.
Yeah, and I wonder if this is the kind of push that DRG was hoping to catch a little bit earlier. Should Cure have been able to move across the map, a minute sooner, than those Lings would have had tremendous value intercepting a push like this one. But instead, it's a bit delayed. There are 7 Marines or so coming out with this push, and more Lings now coming through in production for DRG. He does have 2 queued up, but is almost supply blocked. Supposed to produce 3 Overlords at a time. Kind of an unfortunate time to get supply blocked in this matchup, as the Ling's going to come in here on the flank. We'll see the surround they get. And actually with the Queens, you can see them immediately paying dividends. All right, I was skeptical of that Ling, but man, those 24 Lings got so much work done.
And talk about an anti-timing there from the Terran. That attack ended the same time Stim finished. So DRG has really taken control now of this, we're kind of entering into mid-game here. He's really in a position where this is playable now. I think Cure's proven that he's got a lot of good ideas early on. It makes, most of the rest of the game very inconvenient for what DRG has probably practiced, but that little tactical setup was really good. And now I think DRG is in pretty good shape.
Yeah, he just makes another round of Lings, reinforces a little bit. 1-1 already starting here for DRG. The first engineering base only just now going down for Cure, so also going to be one of those rare moments where the Zerg is going to have an upgrade advantage over the Terran in this matchup. Oftentimes it's the other way around, as these drones, I guess, wanted to join the Lings on attacking those rocks, but I'm liking the setup right now for DRG. I mean, being able to take down those rocks, this map is kind of choky, right? So opening up a couple different avenues of attack and having some more room to play with to try and get surrounds with these Lings is going to go a long way towards helping DRG hold off the Hellbat push that is slowly working its way across the map.
By the way, this could be a real problem. The drone's going to get denied over here at the 4th base. Terran's taking a 3rd before Zerg has the 4th, which is generally not a good sign. The Hellbats are actually kind of nicely positioned in between the Marines, which makes it really hard to actually engage them at all with the Lings. Even the few Lings that come up to the top left don't fare too well. And I think this might just barely be enough to snowball the fight.
Yeah, all the Queens go down. It was some nice control there by DRG for the moment, but he didn't have enough reinforcing units.
And he walks right into the tech here. Seeing the Baneling's nest is going to give you a very good idea of where exactly you are in a game like this. And I don't even know if there's enough Lings to make Banes in a way that could be meaningful. The medevac is out of energy, so it is possible this gets overwhelmed, but wedged between the Vespian gas geyser and the minerals makes a kind of inconvenient position to try to dive into. Zerg survives, but I would imagine the second incoming attack could be a fatal one here.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for DRG. Losing those Queens is really a bummer in terms of macro and also in defense back at home, as he, I think, got reset all the way down to just 3 Queens, so barely enough to manage injects on these 3 hatcheries, which is so crucial for playing this heavy Ling style, because you do need a lot of larvae. You need to be on top of your injects if you want to macro effectively with this one. But he does have 1-1 completed already. Unfortunately for him, Cure doesn't really have any weaknesses in his play right now, so DRG can't really leverage this upgrade timing window to find any damage. And once Cure pushes across the map with 6 more Hellbats and a handful more Marines and a lot more medevacs, he's going to have a 1-1 finish as well. So the upgrades, they will equalize. I can see DRG on the minimap. He's looking to try and get some kind of counter damage done on Cure's 3rd base, but the wall's already set up. The rally point is also in a really good position to deal with this. Now there's not very much at home to actually defend.
Yeah, and there might be enough sustain over here from the Terran. Oh, actually, maybe not. It looks like that was a really good Baneling connect. And so that position is denied. The counterattack from the Zerg is also denied. We got to go back to the main theme that's been happening the last few minutes, which is that Zerg doesn't have a 4th base up and running, and the threat of the Terran remains. A lot of this just comes down to control, who can have a better engage, who can eke out a little bit more damage. Catching these Queens off the creep is huge. This is one of the punishing things about StarCraft, where you tell a group of units to move somewhere, half go the right way, the way that you envisioned it, the other half will curve around the outer area, and that's going to be another little bit of a weakness here for DRG. In fact, again, he's barely holding on in each of these attacks, but the threat is real. The 4th base, by the way, does finish for him as well. If he can hold this attack and drone up at his 4th, he does have a shot. The question is, does he hold?
Yeah, these trades have been so cost efficient for Cure. I mean, the splits are just incredible, and there's no creep really to speak of. All the Banelings and Lings get cleaned up. Cure is stepping forward on top of the Queens.
Damn.
DRG taps out.
Dude, Cure just has a handle on this matchup like nothing I have seen in a long time.
And let's not forget how that game started. DRG had a very smart play. He made 24 Lings at a time of the game, which was, you know, kind of awkward. You know, it's not expected. And as a result of it, he was able to wipe the floor with Cure's opening push. And despite Cure not getting anything done with that initial attack, the follow-up was still strong enough to actually take down the Zerg. It killed so many Queens and reset DRG back to 3 base. And you can kind of see the expression on DRG's face. He knows that he's probably going to have to play more ZVTs today if he wants to emerge out of this group.
Well,
but
no matter what, he has to figure that matchup out on some level. If not with Cure, then at least with GuMiho. Guys, short break coming up next. GuMiho versus Solar. You don't want to miss it. We will be right back.